It's already live right now, and I want to really find somebody who can verify that you can hear me loud and clear. Welcome to Live in Part class. I hope people are online and you can hear me. I want to be very sure if anybody that's online can hear me. I need you to get online and see if you can hear me. I don't want to start running the show without anybody hearing what I'm saying. It's going to be a very interesting day. It's actually an interesting day already. It's going to be a beautiful day, especially Morinka is sitting there in front of me. That's good. And yeah, we are live right now. We're just waiting for some few minutes. We have people coming. Can you hear me? Okay, I have a tickle there. I can hear you. All right. So just also you can share the video so whoever it's connected to you can see what we're doing. All right, I'm just gonna start and then you're connected, right? All right. Okay, so what you're gonna do for me is once I finish one script, and I'll give it to you. You see some highlight that you just type it in the comments. Whatever highlight you see there. Okay. I got 3 people online. Monica, you ready to write? All right, good. So, today I'm going to be talking about the knowledge of the invisible. And I'm glad I can see people that are here watching this live. And I'm so happy to share this knowledge with you. And I believe that at the end of this class, you will have a deep understanding of the concept that we carry within us as an individual to create the kind of world that we want to create. So let me start by saying this class is not about an angelic or supernatural occurrence because I said it's tied to the knowledge of the invisible. It has nothing to do with anything angelic or what stuff like that. The knowledge of the invisible, it's a powerful force within us that many people have explored to make something out of it. Ours is a world of cause and effect. I want us to understand that. So which is the basis of principle. Cause and effect is the basis of principle. Life is about principle. I believe we know that and we understand that. So there are laws that are governing our interactions, relationship, activities, and existence. So we have to understand this law. So we can only make right decision to the level of our understanding of these laws. You cannot live above these laws except to, be in compliance with this law before you can benefit from the law. So this is the basis of cause and effect. These laws that govern our interactions and our existence. I want you to understand something. Nothing is going to change in your life between now and 2025 if you don't have understanding of how your thought works, how your idea works, your dreams, and your belief system. Those are the forces I'm going to be emphasizing, as we go on. Whenever you see an effect, what you need to do is find the cause. What is responsible for this effect? There is nothing like something without nothing. No, everything is connected. Things are connected. So, having said that, now, when I was growing up, I grew up in a family that we're like, okay, I see things that I really don't understand. Why are we different? Why are we not really, like in the wealthy class of a society or very rich? So what we see, bring a kind of a curiosity to you and say, what is responsible for this? There is a cause you're saying. Poverty is it's an effect of something. So you want to find what is the cause of poverty. Like when you go to Africa, the African nations, it's very resourceful. There's a lot of resources also. People are hardworking and good people in the nation. There is money, but the nation is underdeveloped. The nations in Africa are underdeveloped. You wonder what's the problem? What's going on in that nation? So the effect of this things you see there, it's the poverty, you see the, lack of development and lack of good education and a lot of things that's like really backward. But then you have to ask yourself, what is the cause of this thing? Because there is always a cause that relates to an effect. Now, according to Ernest Ohm, it said, in your life, you are the cause of the things that you experience in your life. The realities you see in your life, you are responsible for those things you see. You are the center of the activities of your life. You play a principal role in the event of your life. And you cannot separate yourself from the equation of your life. No, you are the mastermind of the success and the failure that you experience in your life. The law of motion says, and every object will, continue in a state of rest or uniform motion until something else is applied to it that will change that, circumstances. That's also what cause and effect looks like. Things just going to remain the same way except something else has happened to that, transpire. It is very vital that we know that we're dealing with the law that govern our existence. These things I'm about to talk about today are the laws that govern our existence. They are universal, and these laws are non-biased. Until you realize how it works, the impression and belief that there are coincidences in life will flaw your ideals, and that's not going to help you in life. So the knowledge of the invisible exposes us to the root of cause of many results we encounter in life, and we don't even know how it happened. What did we do that we got ourselves into this? But it's all about cause and effect. Now, I want you to understand that it is the understanding of these unseen forces that shape the world that we live today. When those who understand how this knowledge of the invisible operate, they are the ones that shape our world to what we have today, to what we're experiencing today, to the things we are seeing in our life today. Now, these are the brains of our civilization. Yes, this is the brains of our civilization. Napoleon Hill said, the real leaders of the world always have been men of were honest and put into practical use, the intangible unseen forces. And then these intangible unseen forces of opportunities were converted, those forces of this impulse of thought into what we see as skyscrapers, cities, airplanes, automobiles, and every form of conveniency that makes our life, pleasant. But first of all, I have to be able to take hold onto these unseen forces, which I call the knowledge of the invisible. Now, within every human lies the power to create something tangible and visible from the invisible. We all have access to that. As we explore this concept today, you will realize you are not at a disadvantage in turning the invisible and creative things into what you really want in life. Life is from within to outward. What am I saying is everything that shapes your life is from inside of you. It's not just what comes from outside that shapes your life. It's what is from inside of you that shapes your life. So there are four powerful yet invisible forces that is within you that creates the life that you will see. The first one is the power of your thoughts. Your thought is what creates your actions, and it influences what you do on a daily basis. The second one is the force of your idea. Ideas are monumental. They are the tools for all inventions and innovation. The third is your belief system. Your belief system is what creates the patterns of your behavior. And lastly is the power of your dream, which is responsible for creating your reality. So these are subject to your control and within your reach, but not many know how to apply this thing to their lives. Now, if you understand this concept, you are guaranteed an absolute share in life. What do I mean by that? What I'm saying is you will have influence in life. You will be relevant in life. Managing your thought is managing your action. If you have a rich idea today, and that idea is practical, and you can bring it to life, you're creating in a society that no man will be able to ignore you. Also, if your belief in your belief system, if you have a creative lifestyle, you're going to compel attraction to yourself. And at the end of it all, it is what you believe that comes and become the center of your life experience. The combination and thorough application of those forces will change what you do, how you do them, and the result you get. I want you to come up with me this morning. Let me share with you how your thoughts create your actions. Your thought is you. You are what you think. Nothing in your life happens without first conceiving as a thought. Your thought regulates every second of your day. Your daily activities are your thoughts in motion. So when you wake up in the morning, the first thing that probably will come into your mind is, okay, it's time to get up. That very thought that comes to your mind is the thought that opened the door for the rest of the things you're going to be doing throughout the day. And throughout your day, your thought is going to set you in motion. It's going to tell you, okay, it's time to brush your teeth. It's time to go shower. You're going to think through everything that you would do in a day. This is how powerful your thoughts are, that influences all the activities that goes on in your daily life. So when something is so powerful like that, you have to have control over it if you really want to have control over your life. Sometimes people say you have to think before you act. What they're trying to say is you have to analyze the consequence of your, action. Is it something that you really want to involve yourself in? Don't just act. And the reason I say that is sometimes we act and then we feel, well, I wasn't even thinking about what I did. No, it's not that you're not thinking about what you did, but because the action was so rapid and the thought was just so fluent, you can't remember that you have thought it through before you acted it. There's nothing that you do that you have not thought about, but you might not catch when your mind is analyzing those events. But for the fact that you're doing something is because you've thought about it. You can plan yourself into a great success and accomplish great things if you program your thoughts. In the word of Napoleon Hill, I want you to understand what it said. He said, every man is what he is today because of the dominating thought which he permits to occupy his mind. It is the thought that you permit to occupy your mind. He said that thought which a man deliberately places in his own mind and it gives an encouragement to, and he sympathizes with that thought, at which it also mixes any one or more emotion, constitute the motivating forces which direct and control his every movement and act. So you see, the thought that you permit become the dominating thought of your day. And those thoughts, they are what they constitute the motivating forces which direct and control every movement, act, and the things you do on a daily basis. You can see how powerful your thoughts are. So think about that. You are whatever you think. That is what you will act, and that's how you will live. And as Holmes said, daily we must train our thought to see that only which we want to experience. Make sure your focus, your thought on the things that you want to experience. If you don't want to experience something, if you don't want to be part of something, don't think about it. Don't permit those thoughts to dominate your mind, because these are powerful, invisible, potency elements that changes things and turn things around. I would like you to understand that poverty and riches are the offsprings of thoughts. poverty, and riches are the offerings of thought. Now, what do you think on a daily basis? What do you feed your mind with? How do you think through? The thought of fear, failure, incompetence, doubt, and poverty produces the same result. So your mind will only release whatever you program in it. How should you program your mind to conceive what you want to see? How do you filter what access your mind? The mind is fertile, it's a fertile land. It allows anything to grow in it. You decide what you want to entertain. So the first thing you got to think about is your environment is one of the major contributors to your thought pattern. Things that surround you and things that you surround yourself with are the tools for crafting and shaping your thought pattern. Until you learn how to filter what is influencing you in your environment, you cannot gain control over your thoughts. So you have to be able to analyze what are the things that surrounds me and what are the things that surround myself with mentally, spiritually, physically, because these are the things that craft and give tools to think and how you think. Another thing you have to think about, take control of your thought through auto-suggestion. What is auto-suggestion? It's just the idea of writing down what you want to think and you begin to speak it to yourself until your subconscious have access to those thoughts, and then it become, a belief system inside of you. Whatever you can conceive, you can birth. Create a perfect picture of what you want to allow in your mind. Most of the time, our dominating thoughts are the challenges we are going through. That's a wrong way to think. You must change your focus from your problem to your solution. Don't dwell on your problem if you don't want to live in that same concept. You have to find out what the solution is and begin to focus your thought and your mind on that solution. So focus on what you want to see and not what you are walking away from. Focus on where you are going. You can only hit a target if you focus on that target. If you want to hit a target B and you're looking at target A, there's no way you're going to hit B when you're focused on A. So if you want to hit a B, which is a target, you have to shift your focus from A, which is your problem, to B, which is a solution, or to the future that you want to attain. Never will you hit any target that you did not see or focus on. Let your thought of what you want in life be your target. Let the thought of what you want in life be your target. And I would like to talk about how your ideas create your inventions. Now, great ideas are monumental. Over 50 years ago, United Arab Emirates was a desert with no attraction. But now it is one of the most thriving locations on earth. Dubai, which is one of the most popular cities in the United Arab Emirates, has become one of the richest places in the world. The Burj Khalifa in Dubai, it's half a mile, in its height, and is the tallest building in the world. In 2019, Dubai ranked as the 7th out of the 20th most visited city in the world. It ranked one step above New York, with almost 15 million people coming to Dubai. Now, this year, Dubai is the number one most luxurious city in the world. What happened? How did the desert become the most luxurious city in the world? It's a men and women that are full of mesmerizing idea turn a desert into a luxury. It's all the power of idea. It's all the power of idea. Now, an idea is not discriminatory. Idea is accessible to everybody. What you do with your idea is what determines what you become the innovation of your life. How do you treat your ideas? That idea is powerful enough to turn a desert into a luxury. So if you treat idea carelessly, you destroy the knowledge of the invisible that can create concept that man has not even seen. So imagine this. Idea is not just a mere fiction. These are powerful concepts that already change our civilization. So when you have an idea, don't just think it's just fruitless. Don't just think it's just any kind of thought. It said, this is what have changed our civilization. Imagine like without idea, where are we going to be today in life? So the level of comfort we enjoy, the level of convenience and innovation and technological advancement that we are experiencing today is because of an idea. Some people mistake that idea, they translated it into the reality that benefit the society today. We're on social media right now. This is some people's idea, and we are benefiting from this right now. So if this person who had the idea of this networking, Facebook, and all this website stuff, if they really trash that idea, we're not going to be using this today. So that's why idea it's very important. Now, ideas are monumental, and that's why we cannot stop talking about the Wright brothers. If there are still airplanes flying on the sky, we will always talk about the Wright brothers. Those who have the idea to say they want to change the concept. They want to see how a metal will fly. And now we have an airplane because of two brothers had an idea to do that. And we're talking about computers and software. We can't forget and we can't stop talking about Bill Gates. When we're talking about automobiles, we can't stop talking about Henry Ford, the genius of automobile. So think about that, those ideas. Whenever you hear about the richest man or the richest woman in the world, that wealth was built on idea. The four walls of our colleges today are places of academics because some birthed that idea. It is unimaginable a world without idea. Let's think for a second, what is it going to look if we live in a world without an idea? Men and women will continue to live and wear leaves. That's going to be our clothes. We're going to be living under the tree. And then what is going to happen? We're going to be cooking our food, with woods and then be drinking water from the stream. So there's not going to be city, there's not going to be bridges, there's not going to be and high buildings, there's not going to be computers, there's not going to be any kind of things like that. And we're going to be washing our mouths and brushing our teeth with sand and stick. That's the world without idea. That's what's going to look like. So I remember when you read the Bible talks about God is a God of idea and he created the entire world. So this is what the Bible says about how God went about creating the world. He said he had the concept of creating the world where we live today. But the first thing he created was light. Then the series of sustaining things. The trees, he created trees that carry seeds that continue to process of multiplication. The oceans are filled with all manner of creatures with the potential to reproduce themselves. So humans are not exempted from this process. We can reproduce our offsprings, so God will not need to create new Adam and Eve every year. Those are God's idea in creating the world according to the Bible. Do you know how to access ideas? Do you understand how big your ideas can become? Are you treating your ideas as an essential as you should? Now, until you become familiar with the process and continually embrace little ideas, you may not experience great ones because it is progressive. You have to master the little ones and then know how to turn them into reality before you can take another idea and make it bigger. So I want you to think about that in everything you're doing. Now, also, it requires you to value those thoughts and treat them as vital before you can realize their capacity. The possibility of creating or starting anything it's on the condition that you embrace your idea. Whatever you want to start, you have to embrace your idea. It is what brings innovation, inventions, and it's also the backbone of creativity. So ideas are the bloodline of creativity. Don't forget that. Your ideas is the bloodline of creativity. So all inventors are people of great ideas. You can be one of them. You have to start cultivating the discipline of treating your idea with respect and value. So they are seeds of change. Have you ever thought of starting or creating a business or starting something? That's an idea. If you are having a mental picture of some possibilities in your mind, don't doubt those things. Write those things down. Those are ideas. So there are many ways ideas flow into your lives. Recognize those ways and give attention, to your thoughts that comes to you. The difference between the rich and the poor, it's idea. It is a currency that places people in the various classes in society. So an idea is the root of all inventions, and it is the reason why nations are occupying space. Nations are flying to the space right now, and also sending people to explore the Mars. It's an idea to explore more. And then we begin to benefit from that idea. The data transmission through satellites that have changed our technological advancement started with an idea. People with idea change the world with their inventions. That's why that idea as an invisible force, it's powerful and it can change and has changed the course of civilization. Those who will continue to dominate our world in area of vision, economy, innovation, science, wealth, and influence will be those with ideas that are relevant to the need of the people. And no one will ignore them because that idea is relevant to the society. You can create a spot among this fellow if you entertain your ideas. Believe in them and develop it until you turn this invisible force into what? A visible asset. With a great idea, you'll be on top of the world. The idea that turned the United Arab Emirates into a luxurious location in the world was first unseen, was intangible, until it was acted on to create what we have today as the Dubai where everybody want to go to. And then that idea also metamorphoses into a dream. So now lead me to your dream. What's important of your dream? The dream you dream is also one of the forces that you have that you can translate into visible assets. Your thoughts or concepts of things you think can become a dream. So idea, form the basis of your dream. Your dream is a credential for a perfect future. So we live in an imperfect world, but what brings a change to that imperfect world is when individuals who have dream begin to translate their dream into reality. It was an imperfect world when Henry Ford invented the automobile. It changes civilization from riding the horses or carriage into driving a four-wheel. It was an imperfect world that Bill Gates, get into when it turns everything we see today in the world of business, our office or, Microsoft, to what makes life convenient for people in offices and businesses, in education, in social life, to begin to use all this software. It was an imperfect world when the Wright brothers decided to say they want to invent the plane. And then because of their invention, they turned an imperfect world into a perfect future for people. Now people can fly from one end of the world to another. You can imagine for a while, if we want to drive from one end of the world to the another, what's the possibility and how long is it going to take? Or if you continue to ride on boats. So it's an imperfect world turned into a perfect world because people have dreams, and that dreams become what changes our civilization. The conceptions and birth of a new phenomenon changes what is imperfect to become perfect. It is our dream that guarantee a perfect future for us. If you don't have a dream, that's not a good thing. That's not a good way to live. The world will continue to become imperfect without the dream of individuals that will create perfection to what we have at hand. So your dream is an answer to bring creativity into the world. The words of Napoleon Hill say, those that influence our world today are those who created our civilizations, and they are all dreamers. The people that created our civilization are all dreamers. There is no single invention or idea that turns into reality that was not first conceived as a dream. Human development and growth became a reality through the power of a dream, which conveyed the ability and the credential to transmit imaginations and ideas into the desired result. It has to be dreamed, first of all, before it becomes a reality. But it has to be thought about. It has to be an idea, first of all, before it becomes a dream. So our dreams are credential that show we know how to harness the power of the idea and imagination to create a future. When you have a dream, it shows you have a resume for the future. When you have a dream, that's an indication that you have a resume for the future. When you want to look for a job, they ask you about your resume. That's your qualification. That's what shows the credential that qualifies you to be part of the system. So I want you to think about that. I want you to think about this for a while. So our dreams are the reality of the future handed over to us now in order for us to nurture and then build and accomplish, then bring it alive. So you must have a dream. Where you are now is not your destination. It is a temporary location in your journey. Yes, without a dream, there is no perfect future. Your dream is the only tool that translates the content of your imagination idea into a reality. Your dream is a reality. I want you to understand that. Your dream is a reality. It is not a figment of your imagination. If you can dream about something, that's an indication that that thing is existing. You might not see it, but it's existing. Your heart conceives something because it is possible. And it is in the realm where such concept can be translated and then transported into the realm of the visible. So your future is first your dream before you see it happen. As the dream, it turns to your future. So you must focus on your dream to achieve it. Focus is a power that gives stability to that dream. You must trust and follow your dream like you trust and follow your navigation. So it's just like that. Your dream is like a navigation that takes you into the future in which you're going into. There is a perfect future, in an imperfect world. It's your dream that makes you to be able to achieve that perfect future. Our dreams and visions are the obligations of our lives. It's not just something we just say, okay, maybe I have an option. It's not an optional thing. You have to. It's an obligation. You have to accomplish your dream. Whatever takes them from you cuts you off from your realities. They are what defines us and made us what we are today, and then who we're going to be tomorrow. Our reason of existence is to be able to fulfill our dreams. So when we lack the authentication, in access to becoming who we need to be, then we have finally stepped into the path of failure because we don't have a dream. Let me emphasize this again. Your dream is real and it's not a figment of your imagination. If you have one dream, if you have a dream, but if you don't have one, you must have a dream. Without your dream, you cannot connect or create, from the invisible element and bring things into reality. A dream is that mental vision, an idea of the invisible pathway to a visible destination. If you can dream about something, that means you can achieve that same thing. When I see your dream, I can tell you what your reality will look like. It's a world of cause and effect. I don't want you to forget that. So, in order to see our dreams materialize, we need to first of all accept it, believe it, and then start to behave it. Those who believe their dreams find it easy to conform to this future that they see in their mind. This is very important. When you understand and you finally find what your dream is, one thing that shows you that this is real for you is your ability to conform to what is the demand of the future that is in that dream. But if you cannot conform to that, that means you cannot live the reality of that dream. So if I want to be an athlete and I need to train 2 times in a day, and I'm looking to the future to be a world-class athlete, if I cannot conform to training 2 times a day before I become a world-class athlete, that shows I am not living the reality of that future that I'm looking for. So those who believe, if you believe in your dream, the first way to know that you believe in your dream is your ability to conform to the future that you see in your mind. And then that's just the price. You can conform to pay the price that the future is going to take because you're already convinced that you are living your dream. Now, conformity is what gives you conviction that this is real. If I want to become an athlete and it's going to take me to run like 5 miles every day, if I can run 5 miles every day, that means I'm not conforming. I'm not believing that I can become a world-class athlete. But if I can conform to it, that means I believe it. So the belief is what leads you to what you behave. And I'm going to talk about belief and your behave right now. So one of the realities of life is your beliefs. Just like, how your thought triggers your action, your belief is what triggers your behavior. Just like what you think is who you are. What you believe is also who you are. The degree of your stability in life is a measure of your belief system. What you believe creates your stability. Now, there is nothing that shows your belief and pattern of life better than your behavior. If I want to know what you believe, I'm just going to look at the way you act, the way you behave. So when I see the way you behave, the choices that you make, the decisions that you make, how you live your life, that tells me exactly who you are, what you believe. So there is nothing that shows your belief and pattern of life better than your behavior. Wrong ideas, unrealistic dreams, and negative thoughts are all products of a wrong belief system. Successful individuals followed a certain path that leads to their accomplishment. Whatever they accepted as their belief modifies what they do and how they do it. So their values and decision with all other attributes is what contributed to their success because of what they believe. Right now, when you look at your success, when you evaluate your life, you see everything you see around you came from what you believe. It will interest you to know that your belief is like a gatekeeper to your life. Your belief is kind of a defense mechanism to the things that comes to you. That's why, because your belief has established a behavioral pattern for you, it is very difficult for somebody to walk into your life right now and change every concept you have believed before. When somebody wants to change your life, they have to first of all change your belief system, and then they can change your behavior. But until you do that, they cannot change anything about you. Until they change your belief, they cannot change anything about you. And the same thing goes for you. If you believe wrongly, you cannot, until you change that belief, you cannot, accomplish what you want to accomplish. Now, just like your belief is a gatekeeper to your life, the same thing, your belief also can be a trap to your life. Now, why do I say that? So if you hold on to a belief system that is contrary to the principle of life, you will continue to be trapped with that belief system, and then you will be walking in the wrong direction of the principle of life. That's a violation of life's principle. That means that's failure. When people violate life principles, they fail. Let me give you an example. Say, no matter what possibility is before you, your belief and your mindset cannot function beyond its capacity. So you cannot exceed and outperform the level of your conviction in life. Whatever opportunity you have will only make sense if it's in line with what you believe. Now, if somebody believes that the rich are greedy, that person said, I don't want to be rich because I don't want to be a greedy person. No matter what opportunity you bring to that person to become a rich person, the person will tell you, I don't want it because I don't believe in it. It doesn't even matter if that person is in poverty. But inasmuch as a person is trapped by their belief system, you cannot change them. That belief system has become their trap. Just like the belief system can become your what? Your gate watcher to shut things against from changing who you are. So your belief system can also trap you and then hold you as hostage into a kind of system until somebody else can break that belief pattern in you. So I would like you to understand this. It is simply impossible to make any decision outside of our belief system. It's very impossible. Just as your thought creates your action, what you believe drives how you behave. Your belief is linked to every other factor that regulates and influences your action, your results, and your behavior. You cannot separate your pattern of behavior from the influence of your belief. Now, that's the principle of cause and effect. Your capacity to succeed is primarily the function of your belief system. No behavior is without the underlying influence of a belief. There is a simple way to say this thing. Show me what people are doing and I will tell you exactly what they believe in. And that's just how it's been revealed. So how is this applicable to what we're talking about today in this class? The keys are the principles. They open doors to give you access. All those things I'm talking about today, your thoughts, idea, your dream, your belief system, they are keys that open the doors of your fulfillment in life. This component must be put together to translate the invisible to the visible, to take that which is unseen and create an asset in the visible. Your thoughts are like priceless. Your ideas are monumental. Your dreams are credentials for the future. Your belief is your stability. When you put all those forces together, you can create an immovable lifestyle that nothing can change you, and you can control the affairs of your life. So, your life is a product of your belief. If you believe that you can, you will. If you think and believe otherwise, then you will sabotage yourself. Your current position in life is a result of what you have believed. If you desire to go further in life, then you must believe in yourself and the future. It is what you believe that powers how you behave. What I'm doing today is a glaring, that this is what I believe, and that's what I'm behaving. Belief is one of the most potent of the knowledge of the invisible. It is one of the forces that drives the result of our lives. You cannot ignore it or downplay it. You may have a positive thought, a great idea, a perfect dream, but without you believing in them, nothing will happen. Your ideas may be the finest, but it will not generate an ideal concept if you do not believe. Now, a great dream will die because of unbelief. So, your belief is the most powerful of all this concept, and without it, you cannot change your world. That's how you turn the invisible into visible. Now, I'm going to talk about that. Turning the invisible into the visible is the height of all creativity. It's the height of all. That's it. Everything you want to bring into reality might be from the realm of the unseen, from invincible. So you have to learn how to take these ideas which are not visible, this thought which nobody sees, this dream which is not really existing. You have to know how to take it and bring them and translate them into the visible asset that people can see. Now, in the words of Napoleon Hill, one of my, good mentors, he said Christianity is the greatest potential power in the world today because its founder was an intense dreamer who had the vision and imagination to see realities in their mental and spiritual form before they had been transmuted into physical form. So realities, first of all, will occur in the mental form before it's been transmuted into the physical. I'm going to say this again, and this is what this knowledge of the invisible it's all about. The realities occur first in the mental form, in the invisible form, before it's been transmuted into the physical. Now, if you don't understand how to take that which is not visible and bring it into reality, then you will not be able to accomplish anything tangible in life. So this is what I'm asking. You are not expected to know everything under the sun. That's not what we're saying. But you need the knowledge necessary for the future you desire. If you want a future and you want to get it, you need the knowledge to get it. And the knowledge of how to approach the world's situation. The world is nothing like you've imagined. Everything is changing very fast. So whatever you know must be adequate to deal with the uncertainties of life. So therefore, what you need is to connect yourself to the source of knowledge where you can always access ideas that provide answers to the future challenge. Success in the future, it's not going to be based on how much people make or who knows who. It's going to be based on what those who have the inside knowledge of the times and they have a foresight of the future occurrence, which will be able to provide solution, to the system, and they will rule the society. So you must understand the principles that will work for different situations and how to manipulate them at any given period. Now, action is a difference between the time when you have a dream, when you have a thought, when you have an idea, and the time when you realize it. It's action, what you do. Action is the difference between when you have an idea of doing something like, I want to, have a degree. I'm going to buy a home. Okay, I'm going to write a book. Or I'm starting a business. And when you finally realize that pursuit, action is the difference. So that dream, that idea might just be there forever. If you don't act on it, you cannot turn the invisible into visible. Action and acting on those concepts is what help you to translate the invisible into the visible. Now, the line between invisible and visible is just a faith action. You have to step up and do that thing which you want to do. Faith action is enrolling in college with the expectation of earning a degree. So, if I enroll, I believe at the end of 4 years, I'm going to have a degree. That's a faith action. So, your thought of attending a college is an invisible. But then your action is what will translate it to visible when you begin to do what you need to do. When you said, okay, and faith action is when you're saving and you said, I want to buy a home and one day I'm going to own a home. By the time you start saving, that's a faith action. And also, if it's when you're writing a draft and say, one day I'm going to become an author, that's a faith action. You're turning the invisible into visible by your faith action. So it is a conviction and action which support what you believe in accomplish your desire. That's what faith action is. Now, what do you see about yourself? What do you see about your life? Do you see a desert or do you see a luxurious city? It has to be with your own opinion, with your own eyes, you have to see. With your own thoughts, you have to see. With your own idea, you have to see your own future. With your own dream, you have to see your own future. You can turn the invisible into visible by your action. And just your thoughts, your idea, your dream, and your belief system can take the knowledge of the invisible and translate it into asset that is visible, that the world can reckon with. So if you don't have a dream, I'm going to encourage you to have one today. Just begin to ask yourself, what do you want to live for? What is the path that you believe is set ahead of you? And if you already have a dream, I want you to go and review your dreams and make sure everything is still in line with what you want to do. If you don't have a dream, take your writing pads and begin to write down the ideas that comes into your mind. If you have the dream, review them. Create plans. When you've written down these ideas, create plans, step-by-step plans on how to, accomplish what you have written down. Also monitor your dominating thoughts to see how it affects where your life is heading to. Write where you want to be in life and speak to yourself about the things which you believe. So once you can believe something, you will start to behave that thing, and you will see that invisible can be turned into a reality. So that will conclude our teaching today. I want to appreciate everyone who's taking time, to listen to this teaching, and I believe you'll be able to gain something from there. Now, you can share what you're working on with me. You can just send me a message and say, I listened to your message and this is what I get out of it, and then I want to share this with you. And that I will so much appreciate it, and I'll respond back to you. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful weekend.